Je t'aime. Staring at the sand river, the water looks like black glass. Watching the midnight boats and the lonely lovers pass. I have a suite at the Ritz with a balcony view, but I'm standing in the freezing cold, just thinking of you. The time zone difference is a cruel kind of joke. My heart is wrapped up in this thick city smoke. I ordered room service, but I couldn't eat a bite, just chasing your ghost through the Parisian night. The cathedral bells ring out across the square, a beautiful reminder that you are not there. I pull my trench coat tight against the chilling breeze, falling completely and softly to my knees. It's 2 a.m. in Paris, and the city is asleep, but I'm drowning in a memory that's pulling me deep. The champagne is bitter, and the croissants are stale. I'm a tragic hero in a lonely fairy tale. 2 a.m. in Paris, searching for a love that I let slip away. I walked past the cafe where we had our first fight. The neon sign is buzzing, bathing the straight and red light. I see a girl that wears her hair exactly like yours. It breaks my defenses, opening all of the doors. I bought a one-way ticket to run from the pain, but the sadness followed me on to the plane. You can't escape a broken heart with a passport stamp. I'm just a moth flying straight into the land. The cathedral bells ring out across the square, a beautiful reminder that you were not there. I pull my trench coat tight against the chilling breeze, falling completely and softly to my knees. It's 2 a.m. in Paris, then the city is asleep, but I'm drowning in a memory that's pulling me deep. The champagne is bitter, and the croissants are stale. I'm a tragic hero in a lonely fairy tale. 2 a.m. in Paris, searching for a love that I let slip away. Oh, you awaken your time to. Do you ever look at the clock and wonder? Count 5 leagues. 2 a.m. in Paris, and the city is asleep, but I'm drowning in a memory that's pulling me deep. The champagne is bitter, and the croissants are stale. Well, is my stubborn heart going to relax? 2 a.m. in Paris, 2 a.m. in Paris. Oh, I miss you. 2 a.m. in Paris, 2 a.m. in Paris. Yeah. Turn it up a little. The needle drops down on a Marvin Gaye track. instantly taking my entire spirit back. We found this old sofa at a thrift store downtown. Now it's the only place I wanna lay my head down. You're wearing my oversized faded band tee, laughing at a joke that was made up by me. We don't need a mansion with a diamond chandelier. I have everything I need as long as you are here. The record keeps spinning in a hypnotic groove. I'm watching the way that your beautiful hips move. Let's turn off our phones and disconnect from it. Building a memory that we will never forget. Our love is made of velvet and beautiful vintage, crossing over the magical. Ooh, let's turn off our phones and disconnect from the net. Building a memory that we will never forget. Our love is made of velvet in beautiful vintage, crossing over the magical. Smooth as a record and sweet as a wine. Tell me forever that you will be mine. Velvet and vintage, a classic romance that belongs in the past. The modern world is rushing, everybody's in a race, but we are just moving at our very own pace. And pour us a drink into mismatched glass cups, surviving the downs and enjoying the ups. The sunlight is pouring through the dusty window pane, washing away all the sorrow in the rain. I pull you in close and I smell your sweet hair, a perfectly crafted, beautiful love affair. The record keeps spinning in a hypnotic groove. I'm watching the way that your beautiful hips move. Let's turn off our phones and disconnect from the net. Tell me forever that we will never forget. Our love is made of velvet and beautiful vintage, cross it over the magical. Smooth as a record and sweet as a wine. Tell me forever that you will be mine. Velvet and vintage, timeless love, timeless love. Timeless love. Time it up a little. Time it up a little. Turn it up a little. Turn it up a little. Time is love. Time love is made of velvet and beautiful vintage, crossing over the magical. Time is love. Here's mine. Tell me forever that you will be mine. Velvet and vintage. Time is love. Turn it up. Turn it up. Yeah. Turn it up a little. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up a little. Turn it up a little. Turn it up a little. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up a little. come. The VIP section feels like a velvet cage. I'm acting my part on this neon lit stage. The bottles are popping with sparklers so bright, but I am just fading away in the night. My tailor-made suit costs a couple of grand, but I'm hiding a trembling and terrified hand. The bass from the speakers is shaking my chest. I'm smiling for cameras, pretending my best. The strobe lights are flashing, blinding my view. Everywhere I look, I just hallucinate you. I tilt my head back so the water won't fall, leaning my weight on this club bathroom wall. Crying these heavy tuxedo tears, drowning my sorrow and drowning my fears. Looking so flawless but breaking inside. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Tuxedos here. The most broken man in the entire room. Me for my name, I'd give her a fake one to avoid all the shame. She asks why I'm sitting in the corner alone. I tell her I'm waiting for a call on my phone. The truth is I'm waiting for a ghost to appear. I haven't been right since you vanished last year. The ice in my glass has melted the slush. The noise of the party is losing its rush. The strobe lights are flashing, blinding my view. Hallucinate you. I tilt my head back so the water wanna fall, leaning my weight on this club bathroom wall. Crying these heavy tuxedo tears, drowning my sorrow and drowning my fears. Looking so flawless but breaking inside. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Tuxedo tears. The most broken man in the entire suffocating me. Without your hands to take it off. Crying these heavy tuxedo tears, drowning my sorrow and drowning my fears. Looking so flawless but breaking inside. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Tuxedo tears. Home. I can still smell it on the collar. Your black leather jacket is draped on the chair. It still has a strand of your dark raven hair. I haven't washed it since that Tuesday you left. My heart is the victim of a beautiful theft. The fabric is holding the ghost of your scent, reminding my soul of the time that we spent. It smells like my expensive woody cologne, mixed with the cheap cigarettes that you own. I close my eyes tight and I breathe it all in, letting the terrible heartache begin. The mixture is toxic, but I am addicted. My logic is shattered, my reasoning conflicted. The lingering scent of cologne and cigarettes, waking my deepest and darkest regrets. A dangerous mixture of love and of smoke, the absolute saddest, beautiful joke. Cologne and cigarettes, staining my lungs and staining my soul. The ashes are piled in the crystal ashtray, a monument built for a terrible day. I trace the red lipstick you left on the glass, waiting for this heavy depression to pass. I know I should throw that old jacket away, but it's the last piece of you that decided to stay. I wrap it around me when the midnight gets cold. Up the fled a young man who was feeling too old. I close my eyes tight and I breathe it all in, letting the terrible heartache begin. The mixture is toxic, but I am addicted. My logic is shattered, my reasoning conflicted. The lingering scent of cologne and cigarettes, awaken my deepest and darkest regrets. A dangerous mixture of love and of smoke, the absolute saddest, beautiful joke. Cologne and cigarettes, staining my lungs and staining my soul. One more drag, one more memory, then I'll quit, I promise. The lingering scent of cologne and cigarettes, awaken my deepest and darkest regrets. A dangerous mixture of love and of smoke, the absolute saddest, beautiful joke. Cologne and cigarettes, fading into the It's lonely at the top. Looking down at the grid of the city below, watching the tiny red tail lights glow. I bought the highest apartment up in the sky, just to watch the heavy storm clouds roll by. The floor is pure imported white marble stone, but it echoes cause I am walking alone. I pour 2 glasses of vintage red wine, but I'm drinking them both just to kill the time. The elevation is making me dizzy and sick. The money I made was a magical trick. I conquered the world just like I said I would, but I'd trade it all back for you if I could. I have the most beautiful penthouse view, but the skyline is completely gray without you. I'm sitting right here on the top of the world, but I lost my absolute favorite girl. Penthouse view, living inside of a billionaire's soul. Private elevator takes entirely too long, listening to the hum of a mechanical song. I wander through hallways of expensive art, a gallery built for a shattered heart. The silence up here is incredibly loud, far away from the noise of the desperate crowd. I press my hand flat on the cold window pane, wishing that I was down there in the rain. The elevation is making Rick dizzy and sick. The money I made was a magical trick. I conquered the world just like I said I would, but I'd trade it all back for you if I could. I have the most beautiful penthouse view, but the skyline is completely gray without you. I'm sitting right know it's incredibly selfish to call you so late, but I'm leaving my dignity up to the fate. I couldn't find sleep if it hit me right in the head. I'm tossing and turning inside of this bed. I drank way too much bourbon at the hotel bar, thinking about how we drifted so far. I just needed to hear the sound of your voice, even if the machine was my only choice. The acoustic guitar is playing a sad little tune. I'm pouring my heart out to the lonely moon. I am rambling on to an automated machine, the most pathetic scenario that I have seen. Leaving a desperate voicemail at 3 a.m. I'm too tired to play the tough guy pretend. I miss you much more than my pride wants to say. I curse the morning that you walked away.
Leaving a desperate voicemail. I hope you don't delete it tomorrow.
I'm sorry for stumbling over my words. I know that my reasoning sounds absurd. I just wanted to tell you I finally changed, even if my mind is a little deranged. I kept the old sweater you left in my place. I still see a smile in the empty space. Okay, I will wrap up this ridiculous piece. You are the star that I just cannot reach. The acoustic guitarist playing a sad little tune. I'm pouring my heart out to the lonely moon. I am rambling on to an automated machine, the most pathetic scenario that I have seen. Leaving a desperate voicemail at 3 a.m. I'm too tired to play the tough guy pretend. I miss you much more than my pride wants to say. I curse the morning that you walked away. Leaving a desperate voicemail at 3 a.m. I'm too tired to play the tough guy pretend. I miss you much more than my pride wants to say. I curse the morning that you walked away.
Classic saved.
It's freezing in here. The mattress is covered in pure woven silk, spilling the honey and spilling the milk. The thread count is higher than my self-esteem. We're living inside of a rich magazine. Your skin is pressing right up against mine, blurring the physical, dangerous line. But your eyes are staring right at the blank wall. You are here in the room, but you're not here at all. The physical touch is undeniably real, but I have no idea how you actually feel. The emotional distance is violently huge. You're using my bed as a sacred refuge, sleeping in silk sheets, but you have a cold heart, tearing my romantic illusions apart. You are lying right next to my chest in the dark, but there is no fire and there is no spark. Silk sheets, cold heart, the most luxurious form of rejection. The thermostat says that it's perfectly warm, but we are trapped inside of an ice storm. You're shivering softly, but not from the cold. A beautiful story that's getting too old. I pull you in closer to share body heat, Accepting a quiet and painful defeat. You feel like a beautiful statue of stone. I'm holding somebody but feeling alone. The physical touch is undeniably real, but I have no idea how you actually feel. The emotional distance is violently huge. You're using my bed as a safe refuge. Sleeping in silk sheets, but you have a cold heart. Tearing my romantic illusions apart. You are lying right next to my chest in the dark. But there is no fire, and there is no spark. She's like the most luxurious form of rejection. Tell me where your mind is. Who are you thinking about? Because it isn't me. Sleeping in silk sheets. 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 But you have a cold heart. Tearing my romantic illusions apart. You lying right next to my chest in the dark. But there is no fire, and there is no spark. Silk sheets. Sweet and cold. Nice story. Yeah. You walk through the door like a runway queen, the most captivating woman I've ever seen. Your lips are painted in a dangerous red, waking the thoughts that I thought were dead. You tell me you were just at your best friend's house, sneaking in quietly, light as a mouse, but I can smell the strange cologne on your blouse. The evidence builds like a burning house. The alibi is completely falling apart. You're playing a game with my delicate heart. You are a masterpiece of deception and art, tearing my sanity right from the start. Red lips and dangerous white lies, hiding the truth in your beautiful eyes. You look like an angel, but you're a mistake. How much more of this acting can I take? Red lips, white lies, the absolute perfect gorgeous disguise. Gorgeous disguise. You kiss my cheek and you bid me goodnight, avoiding the heavy, inevitable fight. I smile and pretend that everything is okay, surviving another ridiculous day. But the mirror reveals the truth of a scene, a toxic, dramatic, and messy routine. We're wasting the prime of our beautiful youth by running away from the ugly truth. The alibi is completely falling apart. You're playing a game with my delicate heart. You are a masterpiece of deception and art, tearing my sanity right from the start. The expensive Bordeaux bottle is totally dry. A sophisticated way to say our goodbye. We pour the final drop into the crystal glass, waiting for this elegant tragedy to pass. We are sitting across the mahogany table, trying to keep our emotions stable. But we are no longer lovers, just former friends. The beautiful movie has reached the end. The candlelight flickers and slowly burns down, the quietest dining room in the town. Let's raise our glasses for the very last time. A beautiful, heartbreaking, silent crime. Drinking the very last glass of wine, leaving the beautiful memories behind. It tastes so sweet, but it shatters my soul. I'm trying my best to retain my control. The last glass of wine, an elegant ending to a beautiful time. We don't need a year, and we don't need a fight. Let's surrender the battle and give up at night. The war is officially over and done. There are no victors, nobody has won. I will always remember the shape of your face, the way that you moved with incredible grace. But we belong on completely different paths, escaping the damage and escaping the wrath. The candlelight flickers and slowly burns down, the quietest dining room in a town. Let's raise our glasses for the very last time. A beautiful, heartbreaking, silent crime. Drinking the very last glass of wine, leaving the beautiful memories behind. It tastes so sweet, but it shatters my soul. I'm trying my best to retain my control. The last glass of wine, an elegant ending to a beautiful time. Don't cry, it ruins your naked. Cheers to the past. Drinking the very last glass of wine, leaving the beautiful memories behind. It tastes so sweet, but it shatters my soul. I'm trying my best to retain my control. The last glass. Put it in gear. The glowing streetlights are blurring into a line. sorrow behind. The dashboard is shining, a luminous blue. I'm driving away from the memory of you. I push the gas pedal down to the floor. I cannot endure this fake life anymore. The engine is roaring, a mechanical beast, escaping the west and driving back east. The metropolis sleeps in a concrete daze. I'm navigating through the midnight haze. My mind is racing faster than the wheels, trying to numb out the way that it feels. Taking a lonely midnight drive, just trying to feel like I'm still alive. The highway is empty and the radio plays, escaping the trap of these miserable days. Midnight drive, running away from the ghost of the past. The FM station is fading to static noise. I'm losing my balance and losing my poise. I roll down the window to feel the cold air. Totally reckless, beautiful. The rearview mirror shows the skyline trick. Giving me time to finally think. I'm carrying baggage that's way too heavy, speeding along in this vintage Chevy. The metropolis sleeps in the concrete days. I'm navigating through the midnight haze. My mind is racing faster than the wheels, trying to numb out the way they feel. Taking a lonely midnight drive, just trying to feel like I'm still alive. The highway is empty and the radio plays, escaping the trap of these miserable days. Midnight drive, running away from the ghost of the past. Keep your eyes on the road, don't turn around. The horizon is waiting. Just trying to feel like I'm still alive. The highway is empty and the radio plays, escaping the stripe of these miserable days. Foot on the gas. Here's to nothing. The crystal flute is heavy in my grip. I bring the bitter liquid to my lip. The golden bubbles rise and quickly pop. I'm waiting for the heavy bass to drop. I bought the vintage bottle you preferred, without exchanging a single spoken word. A lonely celebration in the dark, trying to ignite a dying spark. The stereo plays a melancholy tune, reflecting the glow of the lonely moon. I take a sip and close my weary eyes, haunted by your beautiful goodbyes. Sipping on champagne and heavy regrets, losing the stakes of my beautiful bets. The taste is expensive, but the feeling is cheap. A terrible promise I failed to keep. Champagne and regrets. ice is melting in the silver pail. Another chapter in this tragic tale. Well, I pick up the phone to dial your number again, knowing I'm playing a fool's pretend. But the dial tone mocks me with its steady hum. My fingers are frozen, my senses are numb. I pour another glass to drown the pain, standing alone, watching the falling rain. Ooh, the stereo plays a melancholy tune, reflecting the glow of the lonely moon. I take a sip and close my weary eyes, haunted by a beautiful good guy, sipping on champagne and heavy regrets, losing the stakes of my beautiful bets. The taste is expensive, but the feeling is cheap. A terrible promise I failed to keep. Champagne and regrets, the loneliest party that I ever throw. Everything does. Sipping on champagne and heavy regrets, losing the stakes of my beautiful bets. The taste is expensive, but the feeling is cheap. A terrible promise I failed to keep. Crystal flute. Please just read it. The harsh blue light illuminates my tired face, trapped inside this silent, lonely living space. I wrote a paragraph exposing how I feel, hoping that my honesty could make this real. 3 little typing dots appear and fade away, leaving me without a single word to say. You are online, but you are brushing me aside. That devastating blow to my romantic pride. The screen is glowing in the pitch black room, pushing my sanity right to the edge of doom. I swipe the message up or put it down again. I'm so exhausted by this digital pretend, staring at these heavy, unread messages, standing right upon the dangerous edges. I poured my bleeding heart right into the screen, the saddest modern tragedy I've ever seen. Unread messages, the digital silence is tearing me apart. to the top to read our older texts, wondering exactly what is gonna happen next. The glowing photos from the summer we were fine, before we crossed the fragile invisible line. Now there is nothing but the blue delivery sign. I pour another glass of cheap expired wine. I type a simple word in backspace, it's so fast, knowing this heavy agonizing pain will last. The screen is blue in the pitch black moon, pushing my sanity right to the edge of doom. I swipe the message up and pull it down again. I'm so exhausted by this digital pretend, staring at these steady unread messages, standing right upon the dangerous edges. I poured my bleeding heart right into the screen, the saddest modern tragedy I've ever seen. Unread messages, the digital silence is tearing me apart. Just a single letter, just tell me you're okay. I'll leave you alone, staring at these heavy unread messages, standing right upon the dangerous edges. I poured my bleeding heart right into the screen, the saddest modern tragedy I've ever seen. Unread messages. Please just read it. Time is a luxury. The heavy Rolex sits tight against my wrist, a cynical, expensive, and ironic twist. I paid a massive fortune for the golden band, but I have nobody to walk and hold my hand. The diamond bezel shines brightly in the dark, lighting a miserable, solitary spark. I trade the jewels for a single ticking hour, escaping from this lonely, solitary tower. The sweeping second hand is moving way too slow, putting on a tragic, inescapable show. I check the time, but I have nowhere else to be, a prisoner to my own wealthy decree. Wearing a gold watch, but holding empty time, drinking a bitter cup of expensive wine. The passing hours mean nothing when you're gone, waiting for the breaking of a lonely dawn. Gold watch, empty time, the richest, saddest man that's left alive. My leather calendar is full of empty dates, pushing my luck against the unforgiving fates. I shake the hands of 50 wealthy fake friends, pretending that I care until the meeting ends. But the only face I actually wanna see is currently 1,000 miles away from me. The ticking mechanism echoes down the hall. I lean my tired head against the marble wall. The sweeping second hand is moving way too slow, putting on a tragic, inescapable show. I check the time, but I have nowhere else to be, a prisoner to my own wealthy degree. Wearing a gold watch, but holding empty time, drinking a bitter cup of expensive wine. The passing hours mean nothing when you're gone, waiting for the breaking of a lonely dawn. Gold watch, empty time, the richest, saddest man that's left alive. Play our song. Then this radio is playing our favorite track. I pour a drink and let my memory drift back. The velvet sofa is empty on the right side. Nowhere for my romantic misery to hide. I reach my hand across the empty, dusty space. Imagining the gentle contours of your face. But my fingers only brush the freezing air. I spin around, acting like I do not care. The rhythm grabs my body, pulling me around. A heavy edge, like town. I squeeze my eyes shut and pretend you have been found. Dancing alone upon the solid hardwood ground. I am spinning and dancing with your beautiful ghost, raising a glass for a devastating toast. The music is loud, but the silence is so strong. I've been holding on to the memory too long, dancing with your ghost, right in the middle of the living room floor. The neighbors bang their brums against the ceiling tile. I haven't genuinely smiled in quite a while. They shout and tell me I should turn the volume down. The most disruptive broken lover in the town. But I require the heavy bass to hide my pain. Drown in the sorrow like a heavy summer rain. I twirl around and hold you tight against my chest. A tragic guesser who will never find his rhythms. Grabs my body, pulling me around. A heavy edge, like town. I squeeze my eyes shut and pretend you have been found. Dancing alone upon a solid hardwood ground. I am spinning and dancing with your beautiful ghost, raising a blast for a devastating toast. The music is loud, but the silence is so strong. I've been holding on to the memory too long, dancing with your ghost, right in the middle of the living room floor. One, two, step, turn around. I'm holding thin air. I'm spinning and dancing with your beautiful ghost, raising a glass for a devastating toast. The music is loud, but the silence is so strong. I've been holding on to a memory too long. Just a ghost. Song is over. It's still here. The down pillow still holds the shape of your head, a haunting reminder in the middle of the bed. The cotton sheets are tangled in a messy knot. I'm holding on to the only evidence I've got, the gentle lavender mixed with the sweet vanilla. The memory of you is a quiet and silent killer. I trace the wrinkles in the fabric where you lay, a cruel reminder that you chose to walk away. I bury my face deep inside the woven thread, recalling every single promise that you said. A physical absence is driving me insane, a heavy, beautiful, and suffocating pain. I'm laying here breathing in the scent of you. It's the only comforting thing I know to do. Your fragrance lingers in the heavy, empty air, the final remains of our passionate affair. The scent of you is keeping went and bought the exact perfume from the store. I spray the bottle all across the bedroom floor. I know I'm acting like a desperate, crazy fool, breaking every single logical boundary and rule. The floral aroma slowly fills the entire room, sweeping my sanity into the creeping gloom. If I close my eyes, I can't pretend you never left, a victim of a massive emotional theft. I bury my face deep inside the woven thread, recalling every single promise that you said. The physical absence is driving me insane, a heavy, beautiful, and suffocating pain. I'm laying here breathing in the sense of you. I'm laying here breathing in the sense. It's the only comforting thing I know to do. Only comforting thing. Fragrance lingers in the heavy, empty air, the final remains of our passionate affair. The sense of you is keeping my broken heart wide awake. Lavender, I can't wash to the seas. I just can't. I'm laying here breathing in the sense of you. It's the only comforting thing I know to do. Only comforting thing. The fragrance lingers in the heavy, empty air, the final remains of our passionate affair. Fading but never gone. Gotta get out of here. The blue and purple streetlights fly across the glass. I'm hitting the throttle, letting the city pass. The digital dashboard is shining a warning red. I'm trying to outrun the demons inside my head. I push the heavy metal pedal to the floor. I can't handle the quiet apartment anymore. The roaring engine sounds like a screaming beast. I'm driving away from the beautiful tragic feast. The sleeping metropolis fades in the rearview mirror. The reality of losing you is getting clearer. My mind is racing fast. Yeah, embroidered silk ties, a noose around my neck. I'm wealthy, successful, and miserable red. Outside the winds are not perfectly straight and tight, so hide the exhaustion from another sleepless night. I stare at my reflection in the bathroom glass, waiting for the corporate masquerade to pass. I bought every single thing I wanted to own, but the ivory tower is made of cold stone. The fabric is woven from the finest thread, but it feels like a heavy chain of iron lead. I rip at the collar to find a breath of air, trapped in the middle of a miserable affair. This expensive silk tie is choking me out, filling my lungs with depression and doubt. I'm a prisoner locked in a luxury cell, living inside of a beautifully crafted hell. Silk tie, choking the highest paid victim in the entire firm. Accounts are overflowing with green, the most successful businessman you've ever seen. But my hollow soul is starving and incredibly bare. I'm climbing a staircase that leads to nowhere. I traded my passion for a corner office view and sacrificed the beautiful years I had with you. I don't know the password to break this magic spell, waking the demons that I know entirely too well. The fabric is woven from the finest thread, but it feels like a heavy chain of iron lead. I rip at the collar to find a breath of air, trapped in the middle of a miserable affair. This expensive silk tie is choking me out, filling my lungs with depression and doubt. I'm a prisoner locked in a luxury cell, living inside of a beautifully crafted hell. Silk tie, choking the highest paid victim in the entire world. Loosen the knot, throw it on the floor. I quit. This expensive silk tie is choking me out, filling my lungs with depression and doubt. I'm a prisoner locked in a luxury cell, living inside of a beautifully crafted hell. I get green now. Hey. I can breathe now. She's not coming. The major acts are fine, waiting for a guest. I pass a sympathetic, pitiful test. I shake my heavy head and smile a fake grin, letting the lonely evening finally begin. He quietly takes the extra silver menu away, a brutal reminder that you didn't want to stay. The empty velvet chair sits across the wood, screaming the words that I desperately misunderstood. A single candle flickers in the dim light, and the romantic atmosphere is terrifying. The couples all around me are holding their hands, while I sit alone listening to the jazz bands. I booked a beautiful, expensive table for one, watching the glow of the disappearing sun. I ordered the finest vintage wine on the list, but your gorgeous presence is terribly missed. A table for one, the loneliest dinner in the center of town. silence at my table is incredibly loud. A solitary island in the middle of a crowd. I pay the massive bill with a heavy black card, pretending that being alone isn't this hard. I leave a generous tip on the silver tray and quietly stand up to make my getaway. The single candle flickers in the dim lighting. The romantic atmosphere is terrifying. The couples all around me are holding their hands, while I sit alone listening to the jazz dance. I booked a beautiful, expensive table for one, watching the glow of the disappearing sun. I ordered the finest vintage wine on the list. It's your gorgeous presence is terribly missed. A table for one, the loneliest dinner in the center of town. Keep the change, wrap it up. I'm going home. Our books are beautiful, expensive table for one, watching the glow of the disappearing sun. Order the finest vintage wine on the list. But your gorgeous presence is terribly missed. A table for one. Sir, please. It's pouring. The rain is eating hard against the driver's glass, watching the blurry city lights slowly pass. I parked the engine right outside your old address. My mind is just a tangled, complicated mess. The motor hums a quiet, steady, low beat. I'm staring at your window from across the street. I wonder if you're awake and looking down. The saddest, most pathetic man in the town. A bolt of lightning illuminates the dark sky. I wipe a single teardrop away from my eye. Shift the gear to drive and slowly pull away, surviving the pain of another rainy day. Rain on the windshield, tears on the wheel, trying to forget the way you made me feel. The storm is raging both outside and in. I really don't know where to even begin. Rain on the windshield, washing all the beautiful memories away. The radio's playing something soft and slow. I have absolutely nowhere else I need to go. The leather seats are freezing cold without your touch. I never thought a memory could hurt this much. The flooded highway stretches out into the black. I know there is no physical way to turn back. I press the gas and drive straight into the night, searching the darkness for a single spark of light. A bolt of lightning illuminates the dark sky. I wipe a single teardrop away from my eye. I shift the gear to driving slowly, pull away, surviving the pain of another rainy day. Rain on the windshield, tears on the wheel, trying to forget the way you made me feel. The storm is raging both outside and in. I really don't know where to your safe is full of stacks of $100 bills, but none of this green paper cures the way I feel. I bought the diamond necklace you always desired, but now our beautiful tragic romance has expired. The black car clears, but my spirit is declined. You are the only treasure that is on my mind. I'm surrounded by the absolute finest luxury, but all of it means absolutely nothing to me. The money printer sings a quiet, humming song. Everything about this lifestyle feels entirely wrong. I throw the band of cash right down onto the floor. I refuse to play the superficial game anymore. This is $1 million heartbreak, the biggest, most expensive and lonely mistake. I'm crying in the back of the stretch limousine, the richest, saddest man that you've ever seen. $1 million heartbreak. All this wealth cannot buy your love back. Custom designer jacket on my back to hide the fact my life has derailed off the track. The heavy gold chain is hanging from my chest. I haven't had a single peaceful night of rest. I try to purchase a moment of your precious time, committing the most beautiful, pathetic crime. But you do not care about the properties I hold. Your heart is resolute and freezing cold. The money printer sings a quiet, humming song. Everything about the lifestyle feels entirely wrong. I throw the bait of cash right down onto the floor. I refuse to play the superficial game anymore. This is $1 million heartbreak, the biggest, most expensive and lonely mistake. I'm crying in the back of the stretch limousine, the richest, saddest man that you've ever seen. $1 million heartbreak. All this wealth cannot buy your love back. Take it all, the cars, the clothes, the mansion. Just give me you. This is $1 million heartbreak, the biggest, most expensive and lonely mistake. I'm crying in the back of the stretch limousine, the richest, saddest man that you've ever seen. Come on, I'm broken inside. Sun is up, the morning sun is creeping through the velvet blinds, exposing all the weary thoughts inside my mind. I stretch my arm across the wide and empty space, expecting to touch the soft contours of your face. The cotton sheets are cold upon the other side. There is nowhere left for my loneliness to hide. The coffee brewing doesn't smell quite the same. I whisper out the syllables of your name. The morning light is blinding to my tired eyes, exposing the reality of my disguise. I sit right up and look around the silent room, sweeping away the shadows of the morning gloom. Waking up alone is the hardest part, a heavy crushing burden on my broken heart. The apartment is so painfully quiet and still. I've lost my beautiful romantic thrill. Waking up alone, staring at the ceiling all morning long. The shower runs, but the water is freezing cold. A tragic story that is rapidly getting old. I put a wrinkled shirt on and I tie my shoes. I have absolutely nothing left for me to lose. The silence in the kitchen echoes through the hall. I'm waiting for a text or a non-existent call. I check the screen, but there is not a single word. The quietest heartbreak that I have ever heard. The morning light is blinded to my tired eyes, exposing the reality of my disguise. I sit right up and look around the dining room, sweeping away the shadows of the morning gloom. Waking up alone is the hardest part, a heavy crushing burden on my broken heart. The apartment is so painfully quiet and still. I've lost my beautiful romantic thrill. Waking up alone, time to face the day. Waking up alone, time to face the day. Waking up alone. Waking up alone. Time to face the day. It's time to go home. The weary bartender is wiping down the wood. I stayed on the stool much longer than I should. The neon open sign is buzzing out front. I bear the heavy, emotional, painful brunt. The whiskey glasses are all empty on the rail. The concluding chapter of our tragic tale. I leave a crumpled 20 sitting on the bar. I'm walking out to find my lonely vintage car. The evening is over and the lights go out, erasing the lingering shadows of my doubt. I button my coat and I slowly walk away, surviving the ending of a beautiful day. It's closing time for you and me, a beautiful, wonderful jazz tragedy. The music finally stops and the doors are locked, listening to the ticking of the grandfather clock. Closing time, the final bow of our fading romance. The final bow of our fading romance. The cobblestone street is empty and the air is cold. The story of our love is officially told. I pull my collar up tight against the freezing wind, letting the final quiet solitude begin. There are no more apologies for us to say. The golden memories are washing away. I take a deep breath and step into the dark, leaving behind a tiny dying spark. The evening is over and the lights go out, erasing the lingering shadows of my doubt. I button my coat and I slowly walk away, surviving the ending of a beautiful day. It's closing time for you and me, a beautiful, wonderful jazz tragedy. The music finally stops and the doors are locked, listening to the ticking of the grandfather clock. Closing time, the final bow of our fading romance. Don't look back at the bar, just keep walking. So it's closing time for you and me. A beautiful, wonderful, just tragedy. The music finally stops at the door, la la. Listening to the ticking of the grandfather clock. Oh, closing time. Goodbye from Julian.